Thank you very much, Tracy, for this great introduction, and then thank you, my friend Franklin. So it's a privilege and an honor to be here today, and then to be part of this great engagement. And my name is Salamane Yameogo. Usually people ask me, where do you come from? So, and then last time I went to Leduc with RBC Bank for keynote speaking. Then I said, I come from Burkina Faso. But the guy told me, no, why are you saying you come from Burkina Faso? You come from Edmonton. So, but originally I come from Burkina Faso. It's a country in West Africa and close to Frankline, right? Yeah, perfect. That's a good match here. Then I came to Canada 7 years ago. And then I work full-time for the provincial government as an educational consultant. But being here today is, I would say, is part of that. But the main thing is, I have my own business called Undertake Corporations, where we help people to find a purpose and then the vision for themselves. And then school cover leaders. We do that through a workshop, keynote speaking, and then coaching session. And in terms of my educational background, let's cut it short. I have 3 master's degrees, one in military studies and in war studies and strategic management, one in international development and security studies, and one in law. We keep it like that, and then because yes, don't. And then in terms of my family, I'm a married man. With my lovely wife, we have 2 kids, 2 daughters, and. But coming from my dad's side, I'm the eldest of 17 other children. My wife has 5 wives. So then when I do teaching and then when I empower people, this could be keynote speaking or workshop or coaching, I use farming principles to teach people because I believe in farming. We can use a lot of things from farming principles to empower people, starting by grain, sowing, clearing the land, reaping, pruning, a lot of things around that many people, I can share my own experience. And yeah, that's what I'm
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, and then the Franklin, you can take from there.
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Franklin, but on Facebook you usually will know me as Franklin Green Crusader, which means I'm actually mounting a crusade to change the world in my own way, one story at a time. That's why I run Diversity Magazine, telling stories, sometimes encouraging everybody to tell their story because everybody has a wonderful story to tell. I've been checking some of the profiles of the women sitting in front of me today, and I've also met a couple, chatted face to face, and I've just gone online to check their profile. I'm really impressed with the quality of women that I see in the room. And I wish those qualities, you just take them out there and keep doing what you are doing. So my background is environmental science or environmental engineering, but my calling, my passion is writing. That's why I'm a storyteller. That's why I run Diversity Magazine since 2012. Currently, Diversity Magazine is the largest publication in multicultural communities in Alberta. We tell more stories than anybody in the multicultural communities and minorities and oppressed groups. And of course, women will fall in that box. Perhaps the reason why I surely do a lot more women's stories. Also, other communities too are now coming in because I realize that there are other people's stories needs to be told. But most importantly, encouraging everybody to tell their story is what I would say I do for a living. And by the time you leave the door today, ask yourself, have you told your story? If not, then get to work.
Thank you so much. Amazing. For both of you, being a man that is running a business or as a business leader, you know, of course, you know, as a woman, we have so many challenges that we have to undergo to succeed in business. So what would be your advice to these women that are actually in business? You know, the challenges that women will face is kind of different from what men will face. So, but when we decide to strive to move forward, it takes a lot. So what do you think we should do in order to be successful, just like every other man out there?
Want me to start? Yeah. Okay. I think change is the most difficult thing to sell. As we know, as Obviously, if you go on the street and you are sharing $20 to everybody who is coming by, somebody is still going to criticize you for sharing money. If you go and you are taking $20 from everybody, some people are still going to criticize you for taking money. So whatever, in summary, whatever you do, you're going to be criticized. Because change is hard to sell, it seems so easy to say change, or women should change, but the truth is, it's not an easy thing to do. So the one thing I would say any woman can do will be change your mindset, because it's all about mindset. I agree with my brother and friend here. I heard your comment in the hall there. I was almost going to jump and give you a high five for saying women are already leaders. As a matter of fact, women are the chief operations officers in every house. I won't say CEO, I mean chief operation officer, which means women run the show. CEO is the face, is the person you see. The man takes the credit. When the kids are successful, the person who takes the credit is the man who is the CEO. The person who makes that happen is the woman. So how do we transfer this chief operations officer into a CEO? It's not anything else by just change of mindset. So you can take a bit of that natural inborn skills. Women don't need to learn how to run the house. They don't need to learn how to get everybody ready in the morning to go to work. They don't need to tell the man, this is where you are, this is where you are. That everybody is put in check, in order by the woman. But out there, these skills, we don't see them. You will need those skills to be transferred out there too, such that we switch from a chief operations officer to a CEO. And a CEO is the boss, is the one who runs the show. And everybody wants to be a CEO. So my advice is straightforward and simple. You don't need any other training. You have it already. Can you change your mindset, build a bit of confidence, and let that flow? Let us see more of that side, because we don't see more of that side. A lot of time, that voice that says you cannot do it is more powerful than the voice that says you can do it. And what are you really doing? It's just changing from being a chief operations officer to a CEO, which means you are the one running the company. If you can do that change, as I said, it's hard. It's not an easy change, because there are lots of obstacles on the way too. I'm not going to take that one out of the way. You are running more things than any other person in the world, more responsibility than any other person, and you're able to do it because the kids come out successful. Some of the kids grow and become the top people in anything they are doing because of you, what you have done. If you can make people become this successful, why not yourself? What skills does it take to grow, to produce a Barack Obama or a Justin Trudeau? It's the skills that a woman starts from the beginning with this child. So there's nothing more to learn than just switch and apply.
All right, so that will be it.
Okay, thank you for that great question.
I have one question for you guys. Is it okay, Tracy?
Yes.
Hearing inspiring stories from other people is great. In any part of the world, a lot of people have very inspiring stories to share where women can draw the inspiration from. But what I would like to know as a global speaker, what have you as men done to empower women in your own respective ways?
Very good question. So I think I do that almost like on a daily basis. For me, it's like part of life, because with the magazine, diversity magazine that I write, sometimes I choose on purpose to go to women's events so I will have the chance to give them the platform to tell their story. And a lot of time it happens that no other person is there to share those stories, which of course is the reason why I'm here, because I said no to every other thing happening in Edmonton today. All the press conferences, I said, this event, talking with these women, is more important than anything in the world happening, and I want to be here to share. There are also so many things that most of the women in the community are doing, especially since our focus is multicultural communities, which means multicultural women, women from India or background, Chinese, African, Caribbean, Arab women. Every group of women will make sure we can get as much as possible what they are doing, so that everybody on our 40,000 plus platform can see and know what they are doing, and most importantly, use their skills and talent. Another thing too that we also do, since we do lots of appreciation for awards, festival, we also have that opportunity to put women on the stage. Because there is no way sitting here and saying women change or shift their mindset, then tomorrow women apply for things that I'm involved, then I can't get them that opportunity. And if I have to be just a bit arrogant to say, right here in the hall, we have women who won some of those awards and have changed their life and have gone forward to do great things. So I think it's good to sit in a room and look at people that you can tell that either we've profiled this woman, we've given this woman a platform, this woman was in one of the pages, I mean for free, without payment, supporting them. So I think, yeah, we're doing a lot, and to me, I think that is exactly the reason why we want to keep doing it. So more women make that shift, believe in themselves, have that confidence to go to the next level, whatever next level means to them.
Amazing.
This is nice stories. You may have shared what you do for women. Hope there's a track record for that. I'm sorry, I have a million questions because it is very, very hard for me to believe some stories that we tell this much. And as I tell to all this federal leadership, whether it's government, whether it's UN, whether it's World Bank, said, stop talking the talk. I want you to walk the talk. So when you say this is what we want to do for women, show us that you are actually doing for women.
All right, so that's Honorable Hava. She's going to be coming after them for her to say. So you two have to answer the question, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I still have to answer 2 questions. So let me start with the first one. The question you did
Yes,
ask.
we just roughly say that.
Yes,
right?
quickly. So I would say that I believe that it could be either women, but we talk about women today. In each woman, there is a store seed. Like I just mentioned that I use farming principle. And then one of the things I noticed is like seed, you either use it or you lost it. So, and then it's up to the women, but to believe in themselves and then to sow the seed. Because it's a process. And then as Franklin mentioned, it's not easy though. It's difficult, it's tough. But is that worth it? Yes. Is that it's gonna be something that you start with one step at a time, one day at a time, one cry at a time, one laugh at a time. Then someday you realize, oh, I've never thought that I could go that far. But you made it already. And then it takes time. My mom used to tell me, if you rush to do things and then you succeed, if you take time and then be patient to do the same thing, you will get a higher result. Then it takes time. And being in the business, starting my business has like undertake operation, sometimes I'm thinking, is that worth it? And then I think yes, but it's one day at a time. And then it takes time that I mentioned, and then my question is, how do you become successful? I think Winston Churchill says that success is going through hell without stopping. So you gotta be able to face the failures, but not consider yourself as a failure, but take the failure to make it as a success. And then to see the opportunity as each grain include a tree within. But as long as you don't sow the seed, you don't have a tree. So what do I do to help other women? I think it seemed like Mother Teresa told somebody that if you want to run the world, go home and then love your family. I think leadership and then helping others start with family. Is you start with the kid if you have an opportunity and that privilege to have kids, or with your spouse, and then you can expand it and then you can duplicate it and go outside and then share your story. And then if somebody has question, you have to be able to answer to the question, and getting to know other people's stories help ladies and then women to step forward and then to believe that they can do it. And then I have been doing that through workshops and then keynote speaking, and then it's what I love to do, and then that's it, my passion is.
Amazing. So thank you so much. I don't know, we'll just ask just 1 or 2 questions, then we'll get the keynote speaker to the stage. So do you have any question for them? Just 1 or 2, that's it. Question for the man?
You should have many questions, come on, lady.
Oh yeah, okay, Samara?
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, why men that they are in leadership position, they always feel like women are not a leader. Is there something, is a competition, or just minimizing the women abilities and skills? And as you say that women are leaders, and you have seen it in your family, and it's an example in your life. But what do you think other men that they don't believe women are leaders, where they got those thoughts from, and how we can fight that out?
I think I can respond to that right away, because most of my friends who are women, the question I ask them all the time is, when you sit with other women, what do you guys talk about?
Business. We talk about business.
I won't respond to that question. Every woman in this room knows that answer. Then I say, when I sit with friends, you want to know what we talk about? It's always about how to make something better. Money, power. So I think it comes down to those very, very small conversations that you have with your friend. Are we going to just stay talking about the latest handbag and lipstick all day, or are we going to also start talking about, you know what, I just saw this video that teaches me how to sell a book. It has some interesting concept that I can borrow for my business, which I can use to sell my projects. You want to take a look, Mary? Rather than telling Mary, oh, that lipstick I told you, I saw it at this boutique the other day. So it comes down to those small conversations. And if those small conversations are leading you to take action, to do things, to learn, to be empowered, then it means you're going to always be in that environment. Of course, it's obvious that who you surround yourself will influence who you become. So if women are going to change the conversation, which I talk about change of mindset, to start talking about, I won't say the things women are talking about are not serious, but I would say add a bit more substance to it so that you have a lot more the kind of conversations that some people will call masculine conversations, because those conversations to most women, they will be boring. They will not be exciting. They will not be the kind of conversation that you will giggle. So those small, so that to me, I think is one of the reasons why we don't have those situations. Because, and another thing too, before I let you talk, is another thing I realized with my friends who are women is, I don't see that scenario where a woman is influenced by, or a woman uses her friend to influence other people. Like in most cases, you see a man comes to a group of women and he can impress them by what his friend has accomplished, not what he has accomplished, what his friend has accomplished. And they admire him for that. I'm like, you admire this guy just because his friend is a minister, while he himself surely is Mr. Nobody.
Wow.
But I don't see the same scenario with a woman talking that glowingly about a friend who is a lady, and make me want to know that friend and want to maybe connect with that friend. So a lot of these small things, they go a long way, because it determines how you think, how you reason, and it also determines why people put you in the box that you are. And most of the women who have gone out of these boxes, you can tell that they have accomplished great things, because that way of thinking, that mindset has changed. The next time you chat with Mary, you can ask Mary questions like, how is your company able to become the best? So I can learn something from that. How is your husband able to get all this contract lined up in 1 week? Rather than just, you like that dress? You like this my new skirt? This is my new lipstick?
So we're just going to give you like 2 minutes to just summarize that, so we go to the next agenda quickly. All right?
Okay. So I think, I don't remember the name of that author. Freedom, no one gives freedom to anyone. You take freedom. So it's up to the ladies to take the leadership. If you wait like we men gonna just bring you the leadership, like early morning breakfast, we won't. Because the more women become leaders, it strengthens men leadership too. We gotta be honest about that. And then we will feel like, oh, you know what, I'm the man, why the women are taking the leadership. And then we see that with the Me Too movement, right? And then men starting now to take it over and then say, oh, women are kind of like becoming more diverse, and they have idea to take over men leadership. But it's up to you ladies to run the show. And then if you know that you can run the show, run it. Don't wait for men to run it for you. As long as we run it, we're gonna run it for ourselves.
Thank you so much. Please put your hands together for them.